Today, I'm breaking down exactly what this four-letter code means, as well as why you might see it on your boarding pass, and how you can avoid this stressful situation altogether so you don't end up missing your flight. Those four letters are SSSS, and they stand for Secondary Security Screening Selection. If you see SSSS printed anywhere on your boarding pass, you've been flagged by the Department of Homeland Security for additional security screening. Here's the thing that makes this so frustrating. SSSS completely overrides any privileges you have through trusted traveler programs like TSA PreCheck or Global Entry. Even if you've paid for expedited screening, those four letters mean you're going through the full additional screening process whether you like it or not. A good way to know you have likely been selected before you see this code on your boarding pass is if you can't check in online or can't check in at a self-serve kiosk at the airport. Instead of being able to check in, you will likely get an error message saying you need to see a check-in agent in order to get your boarding pass. That's because travelers that have been selected for this additional screening are usually going to be blocked from getting their digital boarding pass. Most airline systems will not allow you to check in online or via the airline's app if you have been selected, and instead they will require you to stand in a check-in line and then check in with an agent at the airport. And then it's when you get your printed pass that you will see SSSS. Yikes. By the way, if you want fewer airport surprises, join over 25,000 travelers getting my weekly newsletter. Every Tuesday, I send practical tips and break down confusing TSA and airline rule changes so you always know what to expect. The link to sign up is in the description. This additional screening can take anywhere from 15 minutes to over an hour, and airlines won't hold your flight or give you a refund if you miss it because of security delays. Let us know down in the video comments if you have ever seen this four-letter code on your boarding pass and been selected for any additional screening. I personally have, and I honestly had no idea how intense it was until I experienced it firsthand, which we will get into next. Everything seemed normal when I arrived at the airport. I'd checked in online, had my boarding pass ready, and was feeling good about my timing. But at the very first checkpoint where they scan your boarding pass before you even get into the TSA line, the agent told me I'd been selected for a swab test. According to the senior agent who was training the guy doing my test, 1 in 6 passengers were being randomly selected that day. The swab test is officially called explosive trace detection, and they use a long probe to lightly swab your luggage looking for trace amounts of explosives. Usually this takes less than a minute and the result comes back negative. But in this case, mine didn't. It was positive. The result was positive, which meant I'd potentially come in contact with explosive material. They called another agent over the radio, and that's when things got really stressful. This new agent was, to put it nicely, less than friendly. She watched me like a hawk, which made me incredibly paranoid. My flight was boarding in 40 minutes, and I started questioning everything. Did I pack something suspicious? Did someone put something in my luggage? And then, most of all, when the heck was I in contact with explosives? And why would I not remember that? Then she pulled out this plastic stick with those 4 dreaded letters, SSSS, and placed it in the bin with all my belongings. Even though SSSS wasn't originally printed on my boarding pass, I was now going through the full additional screening process. I got both the full body scanner and a manual pat down. They even swabbed the bottom of my shoes, and that mysterious machine came back positive again. 2 agents escorted me to a special area where a third agent searched through every single item in my backpack, while another agent pulled out a clipboard and started asking questions. The whole process was honestly intimidating, even though I knew I hadn't done anything wrong. Here's the twist that nobody saw coming. Or I guess I didn't see coming because apparently the TSA agents see this one all the time. The agent explained that common substances we use every day, like hand creams containing glycerin or nail polish, can give false positive results on swab tests. I had painted my nails that morning, which was the most likely cause. And so the takeaway of this story is to never paint your nails and never use hand cream. Actually, the takeaway is that sometimes getting flagged is completely out of your control, and it is important to just know what the process is so you can go through it as quickly and as stress-free as possible. According to TSA data, SSS selection happens for 6 main reasons, and honestly, some of these might surprise you. Reason number 1 is random selection, and this is actually the most common cause. The TSA incorporates unpredictable security measures as part of their layered security approach. You could be the most normal traveler in the world and still get randomly selected. Lucky you. Enjoy. Reason number 2 is weird travel habits. If you're booking one-way tickets, paying with cash for flights, or making a lot of last-minute changes to your itinerary, algorithms flag this as potentially suspicious behavior. These patterns can trigger additional screening because they're outside normal travel booking patterns. Reason number 3 is name matching issues. If your name is similar to someone on a watch list or no-fly list, you might get flagged even though you're completely innocent. This is frustrating because it's totally out of your control, but it happens more often than you'd think. This makes me think that maybe celebrities are onto something with all of the random baby names that they seem to come up with. I imagine there aren't that many Saga Blades or Olins that are on the no-fly list. Reason number 4 is poor packing. If your liquids aren't properly organized in a clear bag, if you have dense electronics stacked together, or if you're traveling with wrapped gifts that security can't see through, you're more likely to get additional screening. Basically, anything that makes it harder for security to quickly assess your belongings can trigger SSSS. Reason number 5 is suspicious behavior or nervousness. If you're acting anxious, not making eye contact with agents, or seem overly nervous, security might flag you for additional screening. I know this creates a catch-22 because being nervous about flying can make you act nervous, which then makes you look suspicious. Reason number 6 is your travel history. If you've been to countries that are considered higher risk, if you have a temporary passport, or if you travel internationally very frequently, you're more likely to be selected. Even something as simple as having stamps from various different countries in your passport can increase your chances of being selected. If you do get selected for SSSS, here's exactly what the process looks like so you know what to expect and can stay calm through it. First, you'll go through a metal detector. Then you'll likely get a manual pat-down where an agent of the same gender will check for anything the metal detector might have missed. Next comes the bag inspection, where agents will remove every single item from your carry-on and personal item. They'll examine each thing individually and may test items for explosive residue. This is the most time-consuming part of the process. And honestly, I was so grateful to have my tripped compression cubes keeping everything organized and private. Instead of a disaster zone inside my carry-on, everything was divided into neat little cubes, which sped up both the TSA search and the time it took me to repack. The cubes also come in great designs and colors, which not only look nice, but add a layer of privacy for those moments when you have to open your suitcase in public so your underwear isn't on display for everyone to see. Tripped cubes are a step above regular packing cubes because they have an extra zipper to compress your clothes and significantly cut down the volume of what you pack. I've used the same set of tripped compression cubes on every single trip for years, and I'd never be able to fly with just a carry-on suitcase for weeks at a time without them. You can find the link in the description to grab your own set of tripped carry-on compression cubes on Amazon. You'll also get swab tests where they use those long probes to test you and your belongings for explosive residue. They might swab your hands as well as the bottom of your shoes like they did for me. That was strange. Finally, there's usually a brief interview where an agent will ask you questions from a standard list. These questions are straightforward, and they should be easy for you to answer, assuming you don't have anything to hide. Where are you headed, and why? How long is your trip? Did you pack your own bags? Have you been around any explosive devices or suspicious chemicals? What's your occupation? Are you taking any medication? The whole process can take up to an hour depending on what they find, TSA staff availability, and how many people need additional screening at the same time you do. Unfortunately, you can't completely eliminate the chances of being selected. There are definitely things you can do to reduce the likelihood and make the process smoother if it does happen. First, sign up for TSA PreCheck or Global Entry. While these programs don't guarantee you won't get SSSS, having a background check on file and being in the trusted traveler database does reduce your chances of random selection. Second, book round-trip flights when possible instead of one-way tickets, and use a credit card instead of cash. Having a normal flight booking pattern is going to make it less likely for the system to flag you. Third, pack smart. Keep your liquids properly organized in a clear, quart-sized bag, don't stack electronics on top of each other, and avoid traveling with wrapped gifts or weirdly shaped, dense items that are hard to see through on X-ray machines. Fourth, if you get SSSS repeatedly, apply for the DHS Traveler Redress Inquiry Program, also called DHS TRIP. This program gives you a unique redress control number that you include when booking flights. which helps TSA verify your identity and can reduce false matches. Fifth, always arrive at the airport with extra time. Even if you never get selected for additional screening, having that buffer means you won't be stressed and rushing, which can actually make you look suspicious to security agents. And finally, stay calm and be polite if you do get selected. Getting angry will only make the process take longer and could escalate the situation unnecessarily. The bottom line is that SSSS can happen to anyone, but now you know exactly what those 4 letters mean and what to expect if you see them. Most of the time, it's just random selection or something completely harmless, like in my case, nail polish, that's going to end up getting you selected for additional screening. But here's the thing. SSSS isn't the only airport surprise that can completely derail your travel plans. There are actually 9 common airport mistakes that can cost you your flight, hit you with surprise fees, or turn your trip into a disaster, and every single one is completely avoidable if you know what to watch out for. I'll put a video breaking those down on the screen now for you to watch next. Don't forget to hit subscribe to join Ollie and I back here for more travel videos each week, and fun fact, if you do subscribe to the channel, your chances of getting flagged for additional screening decreases by 95%.